What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 5. Today I'm going to be talking about married with children. Very interesting topic. First, let me just say that I have been with my husband for 14 years. So I am speaking from experience, not just an emotional standpoint, but literally from experience. I know there's this misconception like me and my husband are like this perfect couple, and we are far from perfect. There is no couple that is perfect. There is no marriage that is perfect at all. Everyone goes through stuff. We've been through our share of stuff. However, we've allowed anything that we've been through, first of all, to make our union much stronger. And second of all, we made a choice a long time ago, before we got married, that we chose each other as the people that we were gonna ride this journey with. So I say that meaning whatever we have to go through, hold on, it's probably making so much noise. Whatever we go through, you're the person I would want to go through it with, because I know that we can get through it. So that's pretty much it. We met very young. We met when we were 23 years old. We met in New York. My husband is from the South Bronx. I am from East New York, Brooklyn. We met through a mutual friend. And while we were living in New York, we had so much fun. We partied our asses off. We enjoyed our lives very much. And then we moved to California. So we met in 2005. We moved to California in 2011. By this time, we knew that coming to California, we wanted to get our future more in order, because we would want to start a family, have our businesses, and so on and so forth. So one thing is that before you have children, your life is very, very free, in the sense that you can walk in and out as you please. You don't have somebody depending on you. It's a very, very different life. So when we decided to have children, we started in 2015. So by this point, I mean, we've been together for 10 years before we decided to have children. That was a choice that we both made, because of so many things that we wanted to do within ourselves. A lot of healing and a lot of stuff like individually, and then a lot of stuff that we wanted to do business-wise for our future. So we focused on that a lot, really, when we came to California. Like, that was our main focus. And then when we decided to have children, that was a very conscious, like, okay, now we're gonna start this family. So the thing was, we had our son, and I remember that there was a moment in the beginning, and my son probably was, I want to say maybe like 3 months old, and I don't remember how the conversation went exactly. I just know my husband made some comment to the nature of basically like, he misses us, and I forgot about him. And it was crazy, because I felt so bad, because he was right. He was right. And not intentional. And this is what I love about my husband, is my husband's the type that when something is off within us, he's always made, put like this, he's always made sure that we always stayed on point within ourselves, within each other, and like sometimes I would get caught up with just work too much and just throw, us to the side, and it's unfair. So he would always find ways to just be like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, this is the foundation we're building. We are the foundation, so we can't forget about us. And that's so important. And I think sometimes after you have children, what happens is you become so focused on the child and making sure everything is great for the child, and the child, that you throw your entire relationship just to the back burner. And it's so unfair. It's so unfair because it's unfair to you, it's unfair to your partner, because you two are the ones that created this life. And you didn't create it so that you can destroy the foundation. You created to build the empire, to build everything that the foundation is set on. So, you know, when he said that, I realized, like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like, I really, you know, and it happens, and it's natural that it happens, don't get me wrong, especially with first-time parents. So when he brought that to my attention, I realized, like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like, I can still be a great mom, and still be a great wife at the same time, and still make time for my husband and spend time with him despite how exhausted we are, and you know, with everything going on, would you know, just raising a new life and schedules being all crazy. I think it was super important to make sure that that was a priority in it. So the one thing before we had children is, you know, we had you know, a very free schedule when it came to work, and you know, I mean, there wasn't like set hours. We just kind of made it happen. But then when a child came involved, obviously our time got limited, and we had to find a structure that would work for both of us to still be able to work and do everything that we had to do in our businesses 100%, so that they can stay afloat, obviously. Sorry, so yeah, so one thing that I have learned, which is one of the most important things, is that first of all, no marriage is the same. Any advice that I'm giving is it's more of a general advice. You have to see what works for you with that general advice based on who and your mate are, just so you know. So the one advice is that you have to adapt to change. There's no way in hell you can plan something before actually experiencing it. So I say that meaning we could never have said, okay, when we have children, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this, and then you'll do this, and then I'll do this. And it's kind of like when they say, tell God, like, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. So one thing that I've learned, like I was saying, is you have to know how to adapt to change. And that's in marriage in general, because as you grow in your marriage, you grow as individuals. If your person is still the same person that you met and has never changed in years, that's a problem. Like, I am not the same person he met. Now, the foundation to me, as far as in who I am, yes, it's still the same. Meaning, I'm a very, I'm a hard worker. I'm very focused. I'm very dedicated to things that I do. I love having fun. You know what I mean? Like, just, you know what I mean? Like, I love laughing. I love going out. Like, I love doing, you know, things together. I love chilling late at night and just listening to music. Like, these are just things of who I am, and I've always been like that till this day. However, me as a woman, I've changed a lot. I've grown so much, and so has he as a man. So you have to know that, first of all, your mate is going to change, and you have to allow them to change. You also have to know that they cannot change for you. I did not make any change for my husband. I made every change for me, because at the end of the day, I may have met him at 23, but for 23 years, there's a whole life that I had, and things that I've been through in my life, and trauma and healing that I've had to do, that he has nothing to do with. So that's something that I had to work within myself, and the same goes for him. So you have to allow your partner to work on themselves and heal themselves and go through their own personal journey of learning who they are and who they want to become. That has nothing to do with you at all, okay? Because then when you come together, that's when you build this force, because you both are now knowing who you are. So you're much more free inside. So a lot of things that probably would have been an issue before are not an issue, because most of the times things that people get angry about and argue about are simply just reflection of themselves and personal issues they've had with themselves that they've never healed from, and they take it out on you. Because the truth is, whatever you don't deal with from your past or your childhood will show up in your friendships and in your marriage, etc., etc. So it's important to know that there's that growth that's going to happen. So when now you bring kids into play, kids are also going to bring a change in you, because they're going to bring a form of healing, a form of therapy, in a way, because they're going to take you back to your childhood. There's things that when I watch my son and my daughter, it does take me back, some good things, some bad things, some things that I'm like, whoa, I never had this, or you know what I mean? Like, I remember at this age feeling like this or seeing this. So there's going to come another change in that person as they become a parent, as they go into their journey of fatherhood, as you go into your journey of motherhood. And then it also plays a part in whether you have a son or a daughter. Like the son is going to affect him a certain way than the son would affect me, because he's a man. So there goes the him that he's going to see. And then the same goes for me when it comes to a daughter. So there's so many changes that are happening internally within yourselves. And it would be foolish to think that you can still be the same person you were and have the same relationship you had prior to having children and just placing it right on top of having children. It's not going to happen. So you have to embrace the change that's going to come with it within each other as individuals, and then find a new life and a new system, in a way, that's going to work to make sure that both of you still have your balance of still within each other, and then also your balance as a family, your balance as a couple, and your balance as individuals. Like, all those three play a part. So you know, I think what I've learned the most is adapting to a change. And then change comes also the more you have children. So what happened? Oh. Are you done? Oh. I was doing this while you're done. I mean, while you're doing that. Where was I? What are you doing here?
What's up, Mommy?
What's up?
Mommy, I want to sit down.
You have to be quiet if you come here and sit down.
Okay.
Because I'm recording. Here he comes again. Okay, so, where was I? Okay, so yeah, so you have, change also comes, you have one child, and then you have another child or whatever the case is, and you have to know that things are never going to be the same. Like, every time something something new comes into your life, especially another life, you have to adapt to that change and find a new way that's going to work for the both of you, again, to still have the balance of your family, yourself as an individual, and yourself as a couple, and also your individual relationship with your children. Because obviously I have my own relationship with Tristan, and he has his own type of relationship with Tristan. Again, it's always going to be different, because that's a male to a male, this is a male to a female, and same goes for my daughter. So there's so many different changes that are coming into play. And I think the biggest mistake that a lot of marriages do is that they want to have the same exact life that they had prior to that, or they want their mate to still be the same person that they were. And again, that is completely foolish, and it's completely unrealistic, and it's unfair to each other to expect that. So what was I? Yes, so you know, it hasn't been an easy ride, but it hasn't been a bad ride either. It's just been a ride. Stop. It's just been a ride of knowing you're gonna get done any second, because I'm doing something and I don't want you repeating what I'm saying. That's not what you're here for. You're gonna be here to be quiet. You hear me?
Yeah.
Thank you. So it's been a very interesting ride. It's been a beautiful journey. It definitely has, because it's been just incredible to watch him, you know, from just being this young man, to growing into this man, and then growing into a father. So it's been an amazing thing to watch. And I feel like I've just fell in love with him even more after having children. Just seeing him as a father.
Hear me.
Excuse me?
Where's the magua?
Okay. Go over there. Look, the bottle of agua's over there by my bed. So, over here. Look. It's right by my bed. By the bed, on the dresser. Look at the light. Look at the light. Give me. So I think it's super important. I also think that this is another advice that I give to everyone. Let me get some. Another advice that I give to everyone is that you have to put yourselves first. And some people may not understand when you say that, because you have to put yourself, and I mean yourselves, you as a couple first, because if you don't touch that. Don't you dare. If you don't, again, the foundation that all of this empire is being built on is destroyed. This is why so many marriages don't work. Because we put the marriage, we just fucking forget about it. So it's important to put it before the children. Now, when I say that, to all you sensitive ass people that won't understand, it doesn't mean that you're gonna shit on your children, okay? You're always gonna, do everything for your child. That's a given, you know what I mean? But even after all that, you still have to make you and your partner a priority, okay? To say, you know what? At times when they're taking a nap, that's time for us to spend time together instead of being on social media doing nothing, instead of just bullshitting of, you know what I mean? Like, you can do something together. Sometimes you have to sacrifice your nights because maybe your nights is all you have sometimes. So when the children are asleep, this is your chance for you guys to get together and just connect together, and not about work or anything like that. Just literally enjoying each other's company, enjoying the moment together, whether it be intimate or not, but it's just enjoying each other by yourselves in silence, in peace and quiet, So that's very, very important to put each other first, and also to give each other the time to also have their own time by themselves. It's so much between work and children and just life in general that we don't get moments to just be in our own element by ourselves and just listen to ourselves and our own voices in our head, or just even a moment of just not listening to anything and just silencing everything inside of you. It's super important to allow our partners to do that. Now, for me and my husband, what has worked for us, being that we have businesses that we work from home, is that we have schedules that we give each other. So let's say one of us needs, let's say he'll be like, okay, how much time do you need today to get your work done uninterrupted? So it's like, okay, I need about 3 hours of uninterrupted time in order to get that work done. And then vice versa for him. And then outside of that uninterrupted time, we kind of make our work just happen while we're with the children, on our laptops, throughout the day. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
That's it. So we give each other that, you know what I mean? Because we know we have these businesses that are very, very important to us that we're investing in, and we can't let them fall short. So we also make sure we get that uninterrupted time to do work, because sometimes it's a lot to try to get work done with these children, playing, and you're like, don't do this while you're trying to work and doing stuff. So it's important that you find that balance within that. When it comes to household stuff, prior to having children, it was nothing. I didn't mind cleaning and cooking and doing everything and so on and so forth. But what I did know before having children was that it would be a lot for one person to do everything. And I knew that because I've watched all my friends do it by themselves. And it just didn't seem like they were happy. So I was like, this seems like that's a lot, you know? They would always say being a stay-at-home mom is so much work that people don't know. And it is. It's, you know, it's not just sitting around chilling. Like, you're working. Like, you're literally working. So for me and my husband, that has worked for us, again, you got to find what works for you, you and yours, is we've pretty much let go of the societal titles, I can say, given for a man and a woman. Like, a man should do this and a woman should do this. We've kind of let go of everything, and that's in general in life. We've kind of stripped away from all these programming that was given to us, because the truth of the matter is that one thing that we can agree on is that everything we've learned is a lie. From our history, from what we learned in nutrition, religious beliefs, certain religious beliefs, a lot of things are based off, you know, just indoctrinating you to this certain way, and programming you so that these people in power can continue to be in power, and you don't search for the truth, and so on and so forth. So you're stuck in this model of life that they've created for you, and these titles that they've given to you, and you live by them, and you feel that if you don't do them, you're wrong and you're a bad person, and so on and so forth. So what we've learned is that you know, everything, like I said, has been a lie. So who's to say that all these titles given to a man and a woman was the foundation of who we are? I don't know. It doesn't make too much sense to me. What I do know is this. I do know that in order for a marriage to work, both parties have to give 100%. There isn't no 50-50. I'm gonna give 100% of what I can give, and you're gonna give 100% to what you can give. And that 100% is not defined by these, like I said, society titles. It's defined by what's gonna make this empire that we are building grow. Okay? What are you skilled at, and what am I skilled at, that we can both bring into this union so that we can build everything we are trying to build? Make sense? So with that being said, it's like what works that will make both of us happy, and not one miserable, or not one feeling like you know, I'm doing too much and I'm overwhelmed. Like, we don't want that feeling, because the truth is that children are a lot in general, because they demand so much of your attention. As beautiful as the journey is, it's just the truth. So with that, for any one person to do everything, cook, clean, take care of the children, do the laundry, work, I don't know, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. So I think that we found a way, especially I mean, granted, it's easier for us because we're both stay-at-home working parents. So we can make our own schedule that works for us. You know, we're not going to an office, you know, having to answer to somebody or anything like that. So we've kind of just split everything. Like, literally everything. Like, sometimes he cooks, sometimes I cook, sometimes he cleans, sometimes I clean. I mean, there's no he does this and he does that and set structure. Like, it doesn't work like that for us. It's kind of like we're a team, and just let's just make the shit happen. You know what I mean? Certain days we're both exhausted. Certain days there's no dishes that gets washed. You know what I mean? Certain days the house is not clean, and I got a pile of laundry just sitting right there. I ain't gonna lie to you. And I got a whole nother load in the dryer that I haven't taken out, and a whole nother load that I haven't washed. Now, I've been trying to do this for the past like 3 days. It is what it is. Not the other journey is having to fold them. Now, when the hell am I gonna do that? I don't know, because I got a crazy week ahead. But my point is that there's a lot, and we're not the type to be like, oh, you didn't get this done, or you didn't get that done, and you didn't get that done, because we both are in, like, we're in it. We're in it with these children every single day in and day out. So we understand that sometimes it is exhausting and we don't have any energy for the day. Certain days we're great and we get up super early and we work out and do our thing, and there's, you know, dinner cooked all day and there's the dishes washed all day, and some days none of that shit goes down. You know, so we just don't attack each other on anything. We just kind of go with the flow. There's days that we're making sure that we work all day to meet, you know, our goals that we have to meet. There's certain days that we're like, you know what, F all this work, I don't want to do nothing. You don't want to do nothing? Cool, let's just chill all day. The best way we can, with the children involved, of course, because our chilling days are totally different now. But yeah, so I think it's just a matter of finding what works for you as individuals, as a union, and adapting to all the changes that come with being married first, then having children, having multiple children, and knowing and not saying and not getting upset when things are not the same way they were, because they never are going to be. And if you keep trying and fighting for what you had, that's what's going to drive you crazy. Because it's gone. Just the same way that the past is an illusion and the future is an illusion, and the only thing you have is the now, because the past was just a second ago. It's gone. There's nothing I can do about it. I can't change it. I can't do anything about it. I'm speaking right now, and in a few and technically what I'm saying now is turning into the future. Does that make sense? So there's only your right now. And if you stay in the moment of the now, within the changes that are occurring, you won't drive yourself as crazy wanting to recreate a past that does not exist anymore. So I just want people to know, like, don't expect the same thing within your mate. I'm not saying you have to have a drastic change, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying that things are going to change, and you have to be able to accept that. Also for men, you know, pregnancy and birth is a lot for a woman, and sometimes we're just off afterwards, and we're not ourselves, and we're trying to find back ourselves, and we're in this, like, this weird transition within ourselves and our bodies and our self-conscious and different things that have nothing to do personally with you. It's our own personal challenges that we are going through. So understand that as well. And the same goes to women when it comes to husbands. I think we have this misconception as if, like, husbands, they get treated so much like just like this sperm donor, and that's it. And it's like, oh, but I went through it, and I was the one that was giving birth, and I was the one having contractions. It's like, bitch, we get it. We know that. We know that you were the one who did the, like, the physical work. Like, we get it. We don't gotta keep mentioning that as, you know, to get our fucking cookie and our pat in the back. Like, we get it. But that does not take away the man and what his experience is. We don't know what they go through mentally, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, first of all, you don't have that baby inside of you without him. That's a fact. The baby's inside of you because of his sperm, okay, into your egg. So he's very much a part of the experience, and also going through his own changes internally and mentally as he becomes a father, as he watches you throughout your pregnancy, and everything becomes more real, as he goes to these appointments, as he sees everything going on, as he sees you in labor, as he knows that his seed is about to be brought into physical life. All these things, your men are going through their own journey through that as well, and we have to acknowledge that and not ignore that, and that not just make it seem like because we don't physically see them going through anything that they're not going through anything. So I think it's important to understand that a man, even after birth, may not be going through the same depth of emotional roller coaster that we do, because our hormones are all over the place with the physical experience that we just had, but there's still something going on there that we can't ignore. So respect that as well. You know, we have to understand that they're going through their own transition of coming into fatherhood and learning about their children, and learning how to be now a father and a husband, and how to take care of his wife in a different way than before. So I think it's super important that we stop going tit for tat on these I went through more, or I'm this, or I'm that, after children, because I think both experiences and both journeys that are internally you both are internally going through are very important, are very, very important. So that's pretty much it. I think it's just so many false expectations that we have based on following this illusion and this programming of what this is supposed to be. Every person is an individual. Every union is completely different, and as long as you go with the flow, stay in the now, adapt to the change, I think that you can make it work. It's worked for me and my husband after having children. Our bond has gotten even so much stronger, and we're still finding our way. Like my daughter is about to be 1, so we're still finding our way through this, but we're not going backwards. You know what I mean? We're always moving forward, and seeing the bigger picture, and knowing that things are going to keep changing as they grow older, as we grow older. And we're okay with that, So put each other first. Don't forget about each other. Give each other time by yourselves just to regroup. Children can take a lot of energy out of you. And just focus on keeping that foundation that is building this empire that these children are coming from solid, and you should be okay. Peace out. Episode 6, it's gonna go more into self-care in motherhood and fatherhood, which is so important, and you don't even think about self-care until you have children, trust me. But yeah, so stay tuned for episode 6. Thank you guys for watching and supporting this. I really, really appreciate it, and I hope it's helping you guys out in any way. And that's it. Bye.